it's based on this need for every single human to be validated by our peers, right? This is really the foundation of social media. This is like they've cracked the human code based on very basic needs.
Welcome to the Energy Upgrade Podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Grutman. And if you are a high-achieving woman, a successful entrepreneur, an inspiring entrepreneur, or just a woman with kick-ass big dreams, you're in the right place. If you value your energy, your health, if you want to be a biohacker, tap into longevity, if you want to raise the impact you have in this lifetime, you're going to have a lot of fun around here. As a second-time seven-figure business creator, certified health practitioner, and soul biohacker, I'm here to reconnect you to your energy, to the soul of your business, and to your superpowers. Let's go. Welcome home.
And today I'm coming on a solo episode to just drop, and this is probably going to be a very quick one. I just want to talk to you about an emotion that I was able to put words on, and I feel like it's a very powerful one that we often don't look at, and that most of us women, we carry on our shoulders all day long. And drum roll, I'm talking about disappointment. Now, I want you to tune into your body when I say this, disappointment, because when I first heard about it, I was like, oh no, I'm not disappointed. My life is going great. You know, I love everything I'm creating. I'm creating a life by design. It feels so good. Like, no, I'm not disappointed. And then I was like, no. Okay, wait, let's just tune in. Let's just create some stillness in the body. And let's just hold that for a second. And I invite you to do that if you can, if you're not driving, just like grounding yourself and tuning in and just being like, do I hold this, like, where do I feel disappointment in my body? And what does disappointment look like right now in my life? It is wild. It is wild. The number of things that we just stuff down, that we don't give ourselves a chance to actually feel the disappointment for. You know, is it right now? Are you disappointed maybe in yourself? For not showing up, for not going to the gym this morning, for snoozing an extra time, for not drinking that glass of water, for binging on Netflix last night, which means all day you're going to be tired today. Like, are you disappointed at yourself? Are you disappointed at others, maybe for not understanding where you're at, for not offering some help, for not seeing that you need support? Are you disappointed in friends not calling you, not congratulating you, not celebrating you, not supporting you, no matter what you are going through? Are you disappointed at your husband for not sending you flowers on your birthday? Are you disappointed at your business partner for not acknowledging the hard work you've been doing and for not being grateful? You're disappointed at your kids for not noticing the extra work, the extra mile that you always go to support them. Are you disappointed at yourself for not taking the jump, for not being bolder, for still being the good girl, for saying yes when you meant to say no, for tolerating someone saying something to you for the fifth time and you've been meaning to tell them that it's not okay and yet you are still tolerating it? Can you see how disappointment lies everywhere? Can you see the number of times in a single day you might be experiencing disappointment? When I realized how many times I faced disappointment in a single day without putting words on it necessarily, just feeling it in my body, not really knowing what it was and just kind of ignoring it, just like pushing through, continuing, it was mind-boggling. I realized, like, oh my goodness, what would it look like if when those feelings of disappointment come up, not only am I, first of all, allowing myself to notice them, to feel like, that feels yucky. Like, ugh, that's, to me, that's what disappointment feels like. Ugh. Like, first of all, like giving yourself permission to actually feel that without making mean anything bad about you. Doesn't mean you're heartless. It doesn't mean you're hard on yourself. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. It just means you are disappointed right now. Can we just give ourselves the freaking permission to feel that for a second? So just like dropping into that, being like, yeah, I'm disappointed at this. I wish it would have happened this way. I wish, I really wanted this to happen. Like, are you disappointed at the number of sales you had this month? Are you disappointed at the number of people who showed up to your live event? Are you disappointed at, the crickets you heard after you released a masterclass? Are you disappointed at the number, like nobody commenting on your post? Are you just like, whatever it is crazy. It happens so much in a day where we are in this disappointment. And what I realize is the more we don't let ourselves feel it, the more it creates density in the body, the more it just gets added on to the pile of suppressed emotions. Imagine um, gosh, how do we call these places where we go and put all the garbage? You know what I'm talking about? Like when the garbage trucks come and they dump all that and it creates this massive mountain of garbage. Well, imagine that every single garbage bag is a feeling in the day that you didn't allow yourself to acknowledge and feel. Imagine this pile of garbage piling into your body at a cellular level. That's literally how it works. And so it creates density. It creates this heaviness. This heaviness becomes harder and harder for the body to carry. It creates lack of flow in the body, and this is at a blood circulation level, lymphatic level. This is at a neural pathway level. So how clear your brain is. Intercellular communication, like how quickly things get fired up in your body, it affects everything. Okay, so this is not just about oh my gosh, stop, stop feeling these things, just get over with it, right? This is how we've been programmed. We've been programmed like the good girl does not feel these things. She's bigger than that. The good girl, she knows how to handle herself. She can take it all. And especially the good girl who's a mom and handling just 50 different things at the same time. Well, it turns out the more we play that role, the more we have this mask on, the more we are actually creating density in our body, the more we are actually digging our own grave. Sorry for the very dark analogy here, but that's literally what it is, because we are creating dis-ease in the body and we are creating this accumulation of suppressed emotions, which is really just like a ticking bomb. And so what I really just wanted to offer you today is just this awareness for this emotion of disappointment, because just noticing it when it happens, it allows you to just release. Instead of being another garbage bag that we're adding to the pile, we're just not adding that one to the pile. It gets to not even come. It's not even coming in the body, because when you allow safety, when you can feel an emotion, we actually just give it permission to come in and come out. When we deny it, when we don't give ourselves permission to feel it and we avoid it, we allow it in and it stays in. And it can stay in for a lifetime. It can stay in for decades. So what would it look like if through your day you could start just putting that lens of disappointment on and just start noticing it when it happens? Because I promise you, you'll notice it, how sneaky it is. It is everywhere. And just when it happens. So let's just take an easy example that probably everybody is going to relate to. You posted something on social media this morning, and let's remind ourselves, what is social media based upon? It's based on this need for every single human to be validated by our peers, right? This is really the foundation of social media. This is they've cracked the human code based on very basic needs. So I posted something this morning, and let's say I log back in 3 hours later and there's no comments or no likes. That's disappointing. So how would it feel to actually feel that? Be like, man, I put so much time and effort in writing this caption. Like, that's disappointing. I wish more people, I wish more people would have seen it. Well, I mean, that is really based on the algorithm, but also like B, I wish people would have, understood what I meant. But what if we just allow ourselves to feel the disappointment without making it mean something bad about ourselves? Right? Because very often we'll do, oh, yeah, I knew it. I knew it that this wasn't good enough. I knew that this message, like, oh, I knew it that people wouldn't resonate with it. I shouldn't have posted that. Or, oh, I knew that it was too bold. Or I knew that it was too ballsy or edgy or whatever. Like, we are so good at like diminishing our worth through this external validation. But really, why couldn't we just feel the disappointment and let it go without needing to make it mean anything about our worth or ourselves? Like, I wish more people would have related or resonated with my message. And then we move on. We carry on with our life. I wish more people would be signed up in my masterclass by now. Yeah, okay. And then when you allow yourself to feel this disappointment, when you can name it, then you can be in this place, this empowered state where you can be like, oh, okay, so it's not really unfolding the way I wanted. What can I still do? Because it's never too late, right? It's never done until it's done. So, what can I still do to get more signups, let's say for my masterclass? Like, what is maybe something I haven't explored, or who could help me with this, or who could I ask help from? How, really pulling on resources. And that's when we get to become resourceful. But if we are not acknowledging the feeling of disappointment, we're not going to be taking action because we're just going to be beating ourselves up. We're going to go curl up on the couch thinking like, why is life so hard? Right? Been there. Absolutely. I mean, there's lots of parts of me that are 100% human, and I do get trapped in this. But what I've realized is when I allow myself to feel the disappointment, somehow it's like, it feels good to just notice the elephant in the room. Like when, let's say on Valentine's Day, your partner doesn't bring you flowers, it's like, oh, that sucks. And just being able to actually verbalize this and say, I really was hoping you would have brought me this, and then sharing why. That's it. And like, I'm not expecting you to do anything about it, but I was kind of hoping, and this is what it would have meant to me. Um, and this is what's great is because as you start reacting in communication when you feel disappointment, let's say it is towards a business partner, a husband, kids, whatever, the other person involved is going to get to understand some of your standards, some of your boundaries, right? So for example, if I say this about flowers and Valentine's, and if I say this not in a place where I'm putting him down, but in a place where I'm speaking about what would feel nice to me and what are some of my standards, and it's not even a question of expectations, it's just, oh, this would have been really nice. This would have made my day, or this would have completely turned my day around, and this would have been really meaningful to me. So it's not coming from like a needy place, but instead like, oh, this would have felt so good. Then you bet you that he's going to do it next time. Like, because he knows, oh, okay, she loves this. But if you're not saying anything and you're like, I'm like, I'm mad, and you're trying to pretend you're not all evening, like, no, like everybody loses from that. So this is good in like business partnerships, this is good with your employees, this is good in leadership, this is good in everything. So today, this was my intention. I just wanted to quickly bring this notion of disappointment because it's just been a game changer for me lately. So I hope that it's helpful for you. I would love to know if this landed for you, and as you apply it, as you start allowing yourself to feel the disappointment, like, just let me know, how does that feel? Did you notice that it actually created space for you to feel like, wait a minute, I can do something about this. Like, I don't have to be the victim, I actually can do something about this. And this is something I'm really, really excited to actually dive into. Resilient, which is my upcoming program, which actually we are starting today, is the very first day. So if ever you're not in yet, and you're like, ooh, this is like, these are the conversations I need to plug into. These are the conversations I need to be part of. It's not too late. You can still join us. You can just DM me the word resilient. I'll send you the link. But this is how we get to lead ourselves at a higher level. This is how we get to get out of the pattern of being the victim, of always pointing fingers. And this is how we become the leader of our life. It is through these micro shifts that become huge on the macro scale. So I hope today's episode was helpful. Thank you so much for listening. Deep breath. You got this. I see you. I'm right there for you. And yeah, let's honor our disappointment when it comes. See you next week. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grutman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.